Are you ready to win yourself your very own Kingdom Report mug? All you got to do is leave the phrase that pays underneath our video on our YouTube channel over at the Kingdom Report on YouTube. Once this live video is over, you're able to leave comments underneath it. Leave the comment with the phrase that pays this week, Smuggler's Run. Smuggler's Run. Tyler's favorite attraction is all you have to leave underneath this very video between now and Monday morning at 8 a.m. Pacific time to enter your chance to win your very own Kingdom Report mug. Once again, Smuggler's Run in the comment section after the live show. And on today's broadcast, a Disneyland update on Magic Key Pass sales. Yeah, renewals happened this past week. Are you insane? Because for a second, I thought maybe I was going crazy. We'll talk about it. Disneyland raises food prices. Disney World's Halloween parties sell out the rest of August and some into September. And is Magic Kingdom's Enchantment Fireworks Spectacular getting more Walt Disney? Plus, the best and worst rides at Disney California Adventure. All that and the latest Disney Parks news and discussion. Kingdom Report Live starts right after the countdown.
Come to this happy place. Welcome.
Kicking things off with a live look outside like we always do. Wide shot of the Disneyland Resort, where finally the clouds are just burning off. It is about darn time, as we were witnessing so much disgustingness when it came to the sticky August weather. Yeah, but now things are looking good, and you are with us here at Kingdom Report Live. Wade joining you once again for the Kingdom Report, hanging out, bringing you all kinds of Disney Parks news and discussion. That is what we do here. If you happen to know any other Disney Parks fans out there that might enjoy what it is that we do, pass the show along, why don't you? Share it, why don't you? Let people know that we exist, why don't you? And a big thank you to all that have joined us, not only in the past, but also today. And for those that just tipped us over the scales into the 20,000 category over on our YouTube channel, it means so much. It's another milestone that obviously we couldn't do without you. So we'll keep doing what we're doing because you seem to appreciate it. And we appreciate you. Hey, today's broadcast has all kinds of great topics to discuss, as well as news to get into. But before we do that, time to introduce who's hanging out with me on this beautiful Saturday, and that would be none other than our own travel agent, Katrina Manzoni, flying solo.
I know. I'm missing a section over here.
Is there anyone
He's
next to you?
saving the world.
Oh,
yeah,
naturally.
He's busy.
That's our guy.
Yeah, so
That's our Tyler.
Decided to come and celebrate 20,000
Hoot,
subscribers.
hoot.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about. Yeah. And thinking of you, Tyler, our theme park analyst out there with his cape, no doubt, looking
No
after.
capes.
Oh, no capes.
No capes.
Yeah, that's
Edna mode,
so passe.
she would have been so mad.
She gets it.
She
yeah.
understands.
No
yeah.
capes. Yeah. No, and Tyler wouldn't do a cape, I don't think. Yeah. And also joining us from abroad, our Walt Disney World reporter, the Golden Goose. as we like to refer to him, Garrett Hassel.
Hey, howdy, hey, everyone. Hope you're having a beautiful day out there. It's a beautiful Saturday, and we're talking about Disney. So what can make this better other than, I don't know, being in the parks or something like that? But we're having a fun time here.
Oh,
Gorgeous.
my. Well, just over your shoulder, I see Epcot and Hollywood Studios. So, I mean,
It's
you're
true.
practically
So you're
there.
pretty much there. You just reach backwards.
I am. If I lean back, though, I might fall out of this and end up there. So
Oh,
fun.
multiverse.
It's like a
Then I'll
Mary
fall-
Poppins
I'll
thing
fall
going
back
on.
later. Actually, is that from Mary Poppins 2? Because I haven't seen that yet.
No, she goes in a bathtub. Mary
Yeah.
Poppins too.
Oh, okay. I'll check it out.
Might as well. It's only been out a couple
Yeah.
years.
Yeah.
Put it on your list.
Can you imagine that?
I haven't seen Lone Ranger either, so I'm
Yeah.
a bit behind in some of the Disney films.
You don't have to. It's not necessary.
Nobody saw it. So, you're in good company. Not to worry.
Okay. All right.
And you know, one of the stars of that film became a cannibal. I mean, cheers, right?
Oh,
Yeah, Army Hammer, a real
Oh,
life cannibal.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
I was like, wait,
I
I
didn't
didn't remember who was in it. Helena Bonham
I'm
Carter,
like,
she's like the best part of the movie, I think. I don't even remember what she played in
Oh,
the
did you see it?
in Lone Ranger, like a long time ago. I just remember she was always with Johnny Depp. Every movie she's in, she's always with Johnny Depp.
I do recall. I worked the red carpet premiere at California Adventure, and I was there, saw Johnny and all the stars and everybody come down, and it felt like a big event. And then, like, nobody went to go see it.
It's
So
like, was it
unfortunate.
Rango? It's like one of those little flops no
Yeah.
one really thinks about.
Hey,
John
lots of
Carter,
movies get
that was
made.
another big flop of
John
Disney.
Carter from Mars, right? Yeah. Oh, there's a list, my friend.
Oh,
That's
boy.
for sure. Yeah, we could go down quite the rabbit hole of flops over time, but let's not do that. Instead, we took a look at some of the biggest news of the week. We're compiling that for you to discuss in depth. This is the Disney News Review. Let's go. Disney News Review time. Taking a look at some of the best stories coming out of the Disney ether and what you should know. That's right. All kinds of stories kicking things off, though, today with Magic Keys. In fact, Disneyland Magic Key Pass renewals suddenly opened this past week, and new perks have been added. SF Gate reports that last week, Disney suddenly announced a revised Magic Key program, saying, quote, "We are elated to announce new benefits made for you, inspired by you." An email from Disneyland to current Magic Key holders read. While no new passes are currently for sale, 3 of the 4 current tiers of passes will be offered and have been offered for renewal. The previous top tier, the Dream Key, offered no blockout days through lack of available reservations, prompted a Bay Area woman to sue Disney for $5 million, and that lawsuit is still in progress. Rather than the Dream Key, Disneyland is now offering a new top tier Inspire Pass, which comes with most of the Dream Key perks, such as free parking, but now has blockout days for the most in-demand weeks over the holidays, and the new passes also include a surprising number of perks, some for the first time. Now all tiers will include a discount on parking, as well as pre-sale access for events and unlimited PhotoPass downloads for Believe and Inspire keys. All of this, however, comes at a higher price. The 2 top tier passes are increasing by $150 each, while the 2 lower tier passes, which come with significant blockout dates, are increasing by $50. But the most notable change, though, is to what is maybe the most contentious recent development at Disney, and that is Genie Plus. The paid line skipping access costs $20 a day and replaced the previously free passes at Disneyland. Now all Magic Key holders can access Genie Plus for 20% off at a daily cost of $16 per person. And Katrina, a new pass replaces the Dream Key, but all passes have had their prices raised and perks added or modified. What's your assessment of this slate of Magic Key Pass offerings? Obviously, we didn't know whether or not we were even going to get a chance to renew this past week, and then Disney came out of nowhere and was like, yeah, prepare yourself. I think that was on a Tuesday, and then by
Yeah.
Thursday, good luck, everybody. Hunger Games.
Oh man,
Yeah.
I was like feeding on Twitter. I was like, what's happening? Yeah, so listen, I think it's what they did. I'm glad that they're having renewed. That's great. But they've also taken away if you're spending so much money on the Inspire Key and then they also raise the rate, but now they're taking away days on the busy seasons. And yes, given there are a lot of people, like a lot of annual pass holders or Magic Key holders that don't really go to the parks during the holiday week. Maybe they will if there's like an opening or whatnot, or a lot of people have like a like a New Year's Eve celebration tradition where they go and celebrate New Year's Eve with their friends. And I know a lot of people love to watch the countdown over by Paradise Pier and during the World of Color, and they see it. But I'm really disappointed with what they did. Like I wanted to be positive about them renewing the annual passes and saying like, hey, oh my gosh, they added photo pass now, because honestly, it was getting to a point where a lot of people would just try to track down other people and then hand their phones and try to take pictures, and sometimes it just wasn't like I'm still kind of have like a germaphobe thing with touching other people's phones. So I really didn't like want to do that. Like I don't mind it, but then afterwards I'm like Purelling. And I'm happy that they're actually able to do that again, is like allowing PhotoPass to happen. But when it takes place, I'm not really sure, because it still says like coming soon. So we don't really know how long that's going to happen. I don't know where they said like they listened to what we said to give us what they gave for the Magic Keys, because I don't think anybody asked for 20% off Genie Plus.
I don't think anybody really cared about that, right?
I
would
think if
say
they gave it as like a
parking
lump
maybe.
sum. Yeah, like you know how they used to have it. They used to have a parking where you would, buy a pass that didn't have parking, and then one person on the pass would buy parking for like $500 or something a year. It was worth it, you know, and you didn't have block out dates. You can go whenever you wanted, even though your pass was like blocked out, you're still able to park. And now they're, and then with Genie Plus, when they did the Max Pass, they allowed us to upgrade and add on to our pass. And then we were able to get Max Pass for like $450 or something like that for the year. And if we used it, we used it. We didn't, whatever. But now it's like 20% on the daily that we wanted to use it. I think that's kind of like ridiculous in my mind. Like I like how they're saying like, you asked, we listened, we did this for you, America. And I was like, 20% is nothing. Like I could see 50% or giving it like maybe like a lump sum type of thing. Like you have like, you can use it 15 times. You can buy 15 Genie Pluses and you pay this much money for it, and you can use it whenever you want. And if you decide to use it on that day you don't show up, then you lose out on a Genie Plus and you get dinged and you get a knock on your your Magic Key. And then on top of it, like the 20% off parking for the Imagine Key and the Enchant Key, you can only park at Toy Story.
I noticed that. Yeah, that was in the terms, right? So they're segmenting this annual pass holder group basically on over to a specific parking area, which no doubt all of the problems always were around that parking garage of Mickey and Friends, and then they extended out with the Pixar Palace. So now you can get your parking, but we're gonna send you a couple blocks away.
Yeah, so like if you don't know, like Toy Story parking is not it's walking distance if you really want to hike, but
a good 15 minutes.
Yeah, it's a good hike, but there's a bus system, so you have to park offside, then you have to wait for the buses. The buses take you to the front gate, and then on the way back, it's murder.
Yeah.
Like if you stay until like the very end of the night, you have to wait in a huge line, and you have to just wait for the bus, or you just, you know what, screw it, I'm gonna take a 15-minute walk home. Walk to my car. And again, like not a lot of annual pass holders like to go there because it's inconvenient. I think some people do because they like to park far away. They don't really like to be in that main area because again, when you're leaving at the end of the night and you're getting off of that the parking structure, Mickey and Friends, or the Pixar Friends or Pixar Pals or whatever it's called.
Pals, yeah.
If you don't have the two right lanes or the two left lanes that actually get on like the speedway to get up and over to the freeway, it's like 35 minutes of
good
anger.
luck.
You know what I mean? So, but it's just like I know they're trying to like make everybody kind of like go to that other unheard of parking lot, but. Man, it's just and then it's like, and it's on blackout dates, mind you, too. So even if you did come on a blackout day and you just wanted to like visit downtown Disney and spend your money, you have to pay full price.
I noticed that too.
Don't get 20%.
Yeah, no.
Even if you have
no
to
parking option, really. Yeah, you're going to be.
Hey, Katrina, I got it. You're not seeing the glass half full now.
This is true.
You know me, I like to see things from all perspectives, and while the new Magic Key system kind of sucks. The names are way better than the Walt Disney World equivalents. Like, you got the Inspire, Believe, Enchant, Imagine. And Imagine actually means imagine when we raise the prices next year for even less. But if you look at Walt Disney World, you got the Sea Dust Pass, the Pirate Pass, Sorcerer Pass, Incredible Pass. It sounds like a kid's club. So, yes, you're paying more. Yes, you're getting a lot less. But the name is way cooler. So just think about that.
That's a very good point. I agree. I'm going to whip out my card and be like, man, I'm going to inspire to be a better person today because I am livid with these
And I'll whip
block
out
catchers.
mine and I'll
People
say,
get in
I
today.
believe you. Yeah.
I'm enchanted to be here in the parking lot, and I imagine just how long this walk is going to be at the end of the night when I am blackout from spending it at the Lamplight Lounge.
Oh, goodness. Wow. It sounds like an unfavorable mix.
Oh.
My goodness, yeah. I know that when it comes to having the PhotoPass digital downloads thrown in as well, it says coming soon. So
Yeah.
who knows what that means in terms of when we'll be receiving that. But I will say that from I guess a more positive approach, I didn't anticipate them adding anything. So I mean,
No.
it was. I guess it's nice to know that they threw some extras in. I just did not. I suppose being called unfavorable and being referred to sort of the way that we have been as an annual pass holder base now with the Magic Keys. I just really did not anticipate some of the extras being tossed in here like we are seeing it. So perhaps there's a silver lining if you like that sort of a thing in terms of the Genie Plus discount, parking discounts for everybody. I will say I think that was probably the one thing that they listened on, and that's everybody was like, well, what about parking? Because that's probably the biggest issue for locals especially, is where am I going to put my car? And if I'm paying full price and I've got a pass, because in years past, remember, it used to come with it. And it was a big part of sort of the extras attached to an annual pass. And we've gone through so many iterations of a pass now that people remember the good times and will always rate those good times versus now. And I get it. It's a different world and it's an unfavorable mix. And thankfully, now we're able to renew. So at least there's that because we were worried about the silence that we were seeing.
I mean, that was a really long silence. And then all of a sudden it was like boom, 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 boom. And then everybody like 2 days later was like sitting on the computer waiting, and like, so I'm glad that they did it. And it was very close. I mean, it's like really close to everybody's like expiration date. So they really cut it to the fine line. And I know that they're probably going through legal to like get every fine print thing done, because I didn't even read it. I really want to read the fine print.
After that lawsuit, you bet.
I mean, there is something in there about like you give up all your rights to sue in court.
Yeah, you're not going to sue. Yeah.
So, but I want to read it now though.
Well, it's nice to know that we now have an option to renew, and I know people were freaking out when they saw the splash page when they were entering the queue to renew their pass. That basically said just because you're in the queue doesn't mean you're going to get a chance to renew. It doesn't mean your pass will be there when you go to renew. We also did hear from Kingdom Report viewer who shared that they contacted Disney Guest Services to find out what was going to happen now that their child is 3 years old instead of 2. And they had Magic Keys last year. They could renew. However, their child was not of age to need a key. And so they had reached out to us and asked, and we had been hearing rumors and shared that with them. Disney would make an exception based on that and allow for a Magic Key to happen, essentially. And so this viewer has now shared with us that they got a hold of Disney. Disney shared with them, apparently, that they will need to go to the ticket booths themselves in front of the parks. An override exception will be made, and a pass for the child will now be initiated. So
That's great.
If you're in that sort of a situation, and I know it's probably a very small demographic of people that are, but if you happen to be in that quadrant of need, it sounds like Disney is willing to help. So that is fantastic.
You visit those people in the ticket booths. They're probably really lonely there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, there's never a line anymore over at the ticket booths. So
It's all
go
mobile.
visit them. That's a really great thing. Honestly, I was expecting Disney to say no. So
Yeah.
that's really great.
Not until we reopen all of them. Yeah, you won't be able to bring your child. Forget it.
Oh my
but
gosh.
I'm glad
I'm
to
so
see.
glad that they did that.
Me too. Absolutely. Well, you let us know. Were you able to renew your Magic Key? Do you have one? Are you somebody that wanted to buy a Magic Key? Because now we don't know if or when they will intend on opening up an opportunity to purchase Magic Keys in the future. I would imagine that we're at a point now where they're just probably sitting on the information and waiting to see who renews first, and then based on that data, they'll likely reopen for purchases at a later date. I just don't imagine that'll be anytime soon. So let us know in the comments what you think, and if you got your pass renewed, we'd love to hear from you. All right, from Magic Keys to this. Prices at the Disneyland Resort have gone up. Tale as old as time, right? Well, WDW News Today reports that a standard Dole Whip has risen 50 cents from $5.99 to $6.49. The same increase has hit a bag of potato chips from $3.49 to $3.99, and the price of a turkey leg has increased $1 from $11.99 to $12.99, while a bottled Coca-Cola beverage has risen $4.49 to $4.89 in most counter service locations. At most counter service locations, a cup of coffee now costs $3.79, up 30 cents from its previous $3.49 price. Another classic Disneyland Resort snack, the corn dog, has gone up 80 cents at Corn Dog Castle from $9.79 to $10.59. So I don't know if I would buy an $11 corn dog ever at this point. It doesn't seem like it would be something I'd be willing to do. But Garrett, Bob Chapek, Disney CEO extraordinaire, all-around great guy, Captain Charisma, as I like to call him, said to CNBC that prices were going up at the parks last week, as a matter of fact, and basically made it clear that consumer demand is high, so we're going to keep on cranking up those prices as long as demand calls for it. What else do you anticipate will rise in price next?
Well, food is probably the easiest thing to rise, but I would start seeing souvenirs, little trinkets go, because that's like a price that's never really tracked. Like, food prices, you can go week to week and be like, oh, Dole Whip, but a new, plush or Funko Pop or something like that. The ears are probably going to be the first thing, going from like, whatever they are, $22, $30. I could see them pumping
higher
up
ears.
Souvenirs a lot. What?
Higher ear prices.
Higher ear prices, absolutely. Less magic. That's usually their thing. Raise the price, take away a little bit of that. But souvenirs would be that. Parking, honestly, it's another area where you see that, whether it's Walt Disney World or Disneyland, where it's like, oh, hey, you want special parking? You want preferred? All right, you got to pay a little bit more, and you could be 50 feet in front of the normal people. That 50 feet's gonna save you. So parking, souvenirs, food, and ticket prices are usually pretty straightforward. Over the past decade, you've seen ticket prices just grow exponentially year over year, and sometimes it's subtle. It's like, oh, $10. Sometimes it's 20 plus, but it's sad to see for your wallet. But a business is going to do what it's going to do to make its shareholders happy, and Disney has something which people want. Disney has the demand, and like with tickets, you pretty much have a limited supply of how many people you can let in, but people are going to buy and buy and buy because Disney is an addiction. It really is. And it's a healthy addiction, but prices are always going to be involved in that. So yeah, just safeguard your wallet. If you want to try and, I guess, fight back against this, you have to not buy stuff and show the company like, hey, I don't want this. But with a company like Disney, they may not listen. They're just like, you know what, people are still buying it. We're going to keep jacking the prices up. As long as they don't go back to the old school, like, hey, you pay for each individual attraction now instead of like, here's your ticket price. I think we're pretty safe. Like,
I guess that's a good point, right?
Yeah, like Lightning Lane. But I'm saying, oh, you want to go on Indiana Jones Adventure? Oh, that's an additional $250 that you want to go. I'm like, all right, I can go on that one. All right, now it's a Small World.
Yeah, no more
Holiday,
A through E tickets.
5 o'clock.
Right.
Yeah, we're going to go back to the old ticket book, and that's the route we're going to go watch. When Avengers Campus finishes with its new e-ticket attraction, that's when we go back to the ticket book. Mark my word.
I think, we'll definitely see some park ticket price jumps here before the end of the year. I think that's pretty standard at this point. Once or twice a year is like the going rate.
October, so like end of September, October is when they raise the prices a little bit.
Yeah.
All coming our way along with the food. So if you're into an $11 corn dog, you let us know. Who doesn't love
best
a
corn
My
dog
video
ever.
went up like $1. I was really sad.
Oh,
that thing is like you created such a good thing, and then everybody loves it, and then they made it limit 2. That's all you can buy
because they know.
Because they know how good it is, and then they raise the prices every time I go on. I'm like, wasn't it like $11? Wasn't it $10.99 before? Now it's $12.99. I'll still get it.
Keep cranking it. See, and that consumer demand leads ticket prices and pricing in general.
We all just didn't buy anything.
Yeah.
let's just
They
do
need-
this for like a couple months. Hit them where it hurts, like a
Yeah.
pow pow. You know, they won't.
Watch
I
this
wish
space.
they would do the Costco recipe where hot dog and soda $1.59, like for like 30 years. It just stays there. Rotisserie chicken $4.99. Like they could easily raise that. They don't. Can Disney please go on this Costco sort of?
If they did that, the churros would
right.
keep getting smaller and smaller and smaller until it's like a $7 bite-sized churro.
Right. Well, one thing that should remain sort of that Costco deal, I've always thought, would be popcorn.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
it's pennies to make. It's nothing.
So cheap.
Yeah, and
It's
they
the cartons
charge a
that cost
premium.
more.
Yeah, it's the cartons that cost
Cost more.
more.
Yeah, the electricity costs more than the actual kernels do.
That's for sure. Yeah. Well, at any rate, you let us know when it comes to price hikes at the Disneyland Resort. Anything concern you when it comes to those specifics that we had mentioned? Any sort of snacks that are on the way up? They worry you at all? You're going to be priced out of a corn dog now, priced out of a Dole Whip? We would love to hear from you. We also want to mention that we did run a poll, and we referenced it here this past week, but we also want to reference it again over at the community page on the King Report YouTube channel. We asked specifically our viewers this question, and that is, do you feel like the Walt Disney Company values you as a Disney Parks guest? And 88% of you said, no, I feel like just a dollar sign, whereas 12% of you said, yes, I feel valued. Again, a staggering number of probably the most enlightened audience in all of Disney fandom that happen to be tagged on to this channel. Individuals that are rabidly loyal, feeling like a bit of a dollar sign at this point. So I think it will be very telling in the near future what happens next from the perspective of Magic Keys going on sale, what happens next from the perspective of ticket sales and prices going up, because I think this will reflect whether or not there's going to be a dip in demand. We did definitely see a whole lot of people sharing that they would not be renewing their Magic Key after they felt a bit neglected in the last year or so. And we know plenty of people that, for one reason or another, politics and beyond, are refusing to come back to Disney parks. So will we see that dip that we hear so many people are, willing to pull back on and say, we're not doing this anymore, we are going to find other places to visit? We'll keep our eye on it for you, and you bet Disney will be screaming from the mountaintops the moment those problems become real. All right, moving along now. We have some great news, and that is that over in Walt Disney World, potentially, more Walt Disney's about to be infused into the Magic Kingdom. That's right, Walt Disney himself inside the Magic reports that after nearly 1 year of Disney enchantment, the company finally listened to the fans as a new addition has been testing with clips of Walt and Roy Disney. Disney fan account One Little Spark JL shared a video of the new Walt and Roy Disney projection. It seems at this time, though, that this was being tested and has not officially debuted during park hours yet, but regardless, we are so happy to see Walt and Roy Disney added to the Disney Enchantment Fireworks Spectacular, especially since there's been some pretty dirty rumors recently that Walt Disney World is apparently going to oust the Walt out of Walt Disney. It doesn't sound like there's any real validity to that. We continue to hear that rumor circulate. But no, Walt Disney is remaining in the title, and it looks like Walt Disney Projections, along with his brother Roy, may be coming to a fireworks show near you in Orlando. And Garrett, the 50th anniversary of Walt Disney World launched last year, and Disney's Enchantment Fireworks never really lived up to the hype of the show before it, which we all know happily ever after. Your thoughts on Walt Disney imaging potentially being added to this show, and Roy?
It's about dang time. I remember when the 50th anniversary for Disneyland was, and I remember it was like, if you stood here 50 years ago, there'd be orange groves, and you hear Walt talking, and it just gives you, goosebumps and makes you feel good. And then you get enchantment. It's like, pick up on a star or whatever the song is, and it just feels like a commercial for Disney. It doesn't feel like whoever put it together is respecting the heritage and the culture that is Walt Disney World, because Walt Disney World was meant to be something more. It's meant to be Walt's dream of Epcot, which of course never came to fruition because of him passing. So it's about time. They should have had this from the get-go, because it's the 50th anniversary of the most visited theme park in the world. They should be celebrating their founder and his brother, who pretty much kept the finances of the company going and created, the Magic Kingdom. He did it like over the age of 70. So Roy definitely needs some love. Walt needs some love, and I'm hoping that they add a lot of different scenes in there, whether it's at the beginning, middle, and end, sort of, do 3 different distinct chapters for Enchantment. That would be amazing. If they need footage, just go to the Imagineering story on Disney Plus. You've got nothing but footage there, and they should use it, because I saw the Enchantment live stream when it came out, and I was like, this kind of sucks. Like, Happily Ever After was amazing. Wishes, everyone loves Wishes, but it's like, this seems cheap. It seems very poorly put together, and it doesn't really seem to have any sort of like raw, distinct like thing to make it stand out. It could be thrown anywhere in the world, and people are like, oh, it's a Disney firework, not, oh, it's Walt Disney World's 50th anniversary at Magic Kingdom. So I'm glad. I hope that they add lots of Walt, because Walt has such an iconic voice, and Roy also. He sat in the back seat, but he did so much as well. So I'm hoping for a lot.
Yeah, Disney World would not have come to fruition had it not been Roy in the end making it happen after Walt had passed away. And Katrina, it's so weird. We're 2 months away from the 50th anniversary technically being over, right, from launch, and now they're incorporating some Walt and Roy into this. And I think maybe this is a sign of them listening to the audience. I mean, it took a year of the 50th, but them listening, because if I recall correctly, some surveys went out here a couple months ago asking guests, like, do you even notice that there's a celebration going on? Do you even understand that there's a 50th anniversary happening? Well, what would you like to see more of? And I know that Enchantment has just failed to really launch in terms of people satisfaction rates. And so perhaps this is that response, because I don't know why else you would be doing it 2 months before the close technically of your 50th year. Seems a little wild.
It's like, because I remember going to the show, like we were there to see the last one of Happily Ever After, and then I was like, nothing's going to compare to Happily Ever After. And then we saw Enchantment the next day, and I did not cry. I did not have any feels with, Happily Ever After. Every single moment, there is always some kind of tug to your heartstring, right? There's always music going. There's always some kind of impactful beat into it. There's never like a stop, like a lull moment. And then with Enchantment, there was so many quiet moments, quiet spots where you're kind of like, what's going on? And then and like Angela Bassett, beautiful voice, really great narrator, but they should have put her in more. Like, that's what they should have done, and they should have had more of an impactful story, like Garrett said. Like, they needed to make it more about why are you doing Enchantment? Because of 2 people that really did it. So honor them, talk about their story, send up drones with the faces of Roy and Walt.
Whoa!
Am I right, everybody?
That would have been
Disneyland
cool.
Paris got their drones with the little Mickey Mouse ears that are cleverly 30 shaped, but if they just sent up drones that just looked like a shadow figure of Roy and Walt, and like just a little heart, and like Mickey and Minnie, and like, that would be so cool. I don't know, it would never really survive because it's like windy and stuff like that over there. But can you imagine, like, when they started adding these stuff, like the stuff in to honor them? I was like, about time. Is that like, I mean, obviously they're adding it in that. I'm curious, like, if they're going to be adding it in those like really slow sections of Enchantment, because it even, like, I watched it 2 more times of Enchantment, and I was like, I really don't like it. I don't like the music choices that they did. Like, the fireworks are fine, but they really needed something to pull at heartstrings. And so now when they're adding Roy and Walt's story, it'll definitely probably pull at my heartstrings.
The stream captured, it looks like it's an intro. It looks like it's maybe a tag intro before the show of Walt and Roy on the castle. So obviously none of these things are official by way of Disney yet, but it was captured via some streamers who happened to be staying at the Contemporary and could see the castle from their view as they were testing one night. And certainly Disney did let everybody know that they would be testing fireworks over the course of that week, and saying that FYI, it's going to be late at night and we're going to be testing a lot of effects. It might get loud. So very excited to see Walt and Roy making their way back into a park, especially with an anniversary like the 50th, where Disneyland was so saturated in the nostalgia nostalgia. They did
Oh.
it better than anybody. And, typically Disney in general does nostalgia perfect.
Oh, yeah.
And it's bizarre to me that it feels like the 50th just never took off the way that it should have.
Is it just too big? Because the property, like Disneyland's a small property. And so I feel like maybe it did look saturated because there was like only a couple hotels, a couple, like there's 2 parks, downtown Disney. And then, but everybody came. But now, like Disney World, you barely see it. Like, maybe some stores.
Yeah, there's
you'll
some
see,
banners, right?
Some
Like-
banners here and there, but there isn't
Well-
maybe some food, whatever. What is it? I don't know.
Yeah.
Not they don't do churros
No.
there as we do, but
Yeah. No. Disneyland's got the churro game down, but Disney World, like after working there and growing up at Disneyland, Disney World feels a lot more cold and corporate, where everything
Mhm.
feels like everything's got to be in a square box. Kind of like in Up, Carl's family is like that, and then Ellie's family is like Disneyland, where it's like we do whatever we want, we have fun out here. And I think it's because Walt put his heart, like blood, sweat, and tears into Disneyland, and he never got to see Disney World come alive. And that's when the corporate entity sort of took over, and they did a paint job, they did some new signs, but yeah, the 50th
I hate
was
the
during
paint
the
job.
Great Recession, and people poured in, and we had the pandemic, so it seems like every 50th anniversary there's going to be some kind of bad thing going on in the world.
oh no.
But Disney World they didn't make it big enough. I think they're like, our doors are open, please come in. Like it just doesn't feel as magical. Even when you see the 50th golden statue, it's like, Disneyland sort of had these statues around, the partner statue forever. So I'm hoping Disney World for the 60th will step up, because Disneyland Forever fireworks for the 60th, amazing. So, Disney World, you got 10 years to really step up your game. So best of luck.
Yeah, I wish they did like more. I mean, even if you focal point of Magic Kingdom, you didn't have to like spread it all the way to Animal Kingdom to Epcot,
No.
because you spread it too thin. The main original thing that was built 50 years ago was Magic Kingdom. So even if you made that a focal point and then just had merchandise and stuff being sold at all the other parks, and then yeah, sure, maybe like they do the, what do they call them, the icons or whatever. So like
Yeah.
creating that for the 50th. But man, like it's just so thin.
And I know that
expected more.
the whole thing was poo-pooed by the pandemic, right?
Yeah.
There's so
Yeah.
much I think that they wanted to do that they ended up not being able to because of it. But now that we're sort of on the outs of things, and it's more of an endemic type atmosphere where they're saying they're almost back to full capacity. So with that in mind, maybe shell out some of the goodies here at the end. That would be cool,
Yeah.
huh? And really end it with a bang. That would be nice, huh? Let's celebrate the 50th the right way. That would be nice.
Are they gonna get it like a nighttime? Are they gonna get the Main Street Electrical
There are
Parade?
rumors.
So maybe that's like their last 2 months of a hurrah. They're like, please come to Magic Kingdom. We're doing Main Street Electrical Parade.
The Main Street, I don't want the Main Street Electrical Parade to go back to Disney World. I worked that, and it was fun, but it needs to be laid to rest or returned to Disneyland where it belongs.
Well, it is
Like,
returned. It's going away now.
Yeah,
I know.
glowing
In, like,
away.
2
Can
weeks.
I think it's time to put the thing to bed. Bring back Spectro Magic or do Paint the Night at Disney World. But Main Street Electrical Parade, it's done its duty. It's
Duty.
Glowing away until another shot of attendance is needed.
I do
Well,
like the
that's
new
right.
ending though.
gosh.
Yeah,
It
it's
is
nice.
very beautiful.
Yeah.
It is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, at any rate, folks, are you a little sad by what we've seen from the 50th anniversary at Disney World? I think we all wanted it to be worthy of Disney World's 50th anniversary, and unfortunately it seems like it misstepped a little bit. But with this news, do you feel like a Walt and Roy infusion into such a spectacular like the fireworks might be beneficial? No doubt it's a positive step in the right direction. You let us know in the comments. In speaking about Magic Kingdom, some great news on the horizon that these Halloween parties are popular again. That's right. If you are someone that is heading out to Walt Disney World for the Magic Kingdom's Halloween parties, Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween parties, that is, well, you are potentially not in luck. If you want to grab yourself a ticket to the party, you better hurry up, because Blog Mickey reports that There are all kinds of days sold out already. In fact, looks like the rest of August for the most part. August 23rd sold out, 26th sold out, 30th sold out. Into September, the 2nd, 5th, 9th, and 13th are sold out now, and October the 2nd are sold out at this point. Pricing, of course, goes from $109 to $179. So if you are looking to get yourself out to Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party, it is based on the day in demand. So the closer you get to Halloween, the more expensive it gets. Just keep that in mind. But these tickets are flying, and certainly we saw out on the West Coast with the Oogie Boogie Bash and California Adventures Halloween Party. That sucker sold out almost immediately. I mean, it was a couple of days, it was gone. And there was very little recourse. In fact, it took us all by surprise. We thought there'd be more time, and now we all here are ticketless to Oogie Boogie Bash. It's shocking because we live in this world, and we thought it was going to last a little bit longer. That window was going to be a little bit wider for us, but in the end, it was those people that were prepared and there for the kickoff of the ticket offerings being able to grab them. And Katrina, share with folks some of the things they can expect from a party like Mickey's Not So Scary, and your reaction to August selling out, now big portion of September.
Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party is so much fun because everybody I feel like a lot of people like dress up there as well, like ever in California too, but you can dress up, and this is like when like adults can actually dress up and kind of like go to the parks and have fun, and then you go and trick or treat. Then you get to see like amazing shows, and I mean, Hocus Pocus is probably like my favorite show.
Oh,
with that Bette Midler impersonator. Ooh, she's so good. When she hits that pitch, I was like, oh man. And then I
hit it.
I have to make sure Tyler's behind me, so when I faint, he catches me. And then, but yeah, and then you just like, you know, the Boo to You Halloween parade, and that's always really fun. The music's really catchy. It'll get stuck in your head like all night next morning for probably the next month or so. And then after that, you can go and make sure you get the limited eats and treats that you can get throughout the night, because those are only for the parties. So that is also a big thing. Make sure you go and mobile order your food and make sure you set up your times, because those wait lines can get pretty lengthy.
Mm-hmm.
So plan ahead. And so it's pretty much all you do. It's just, and then you go on rides. I usually my advice would be do the rides like when you get there if you can, because and then do candy at the end of the night, because I feel like a lot of people like doing candy at the beginning, getting it over with, and those lines can be really lengthy.
Mm-hmm.
So I would go, and then if you see like a short line, pop in, go get it, but maybe just focus on the rides. And then there's like, 3 or 4 Hocus Pocus shows, so try to watch probably like the ending night ones, because those aren't as busy, or you can do the midnight one, because that one's really spooky and it's really fun. And then the fireworks show is always like a really great thing, so you kind of can pretty much watch it all throughout Main Street. I wouldn't say like you have to be like right at the castle to do it. So yeah, there's so many things for Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party. I'm also going, and I'm really excited.
Got to grab your tickets now if you haven't already. They are selling out fast. The demand is there, that's for sure.
It's going to be busy.
Yes, it will. Wild and crazy. You betcha. Get your witch hat on. Oh. Yep. Get your devil horns. Oh. Right? I was thinking about Hocus Pocus, and when they go into Satan's house and they realize he married Medusa. Yeah. Oh. Gary Marshall.
I know. I was like, oh man.
Rest
Gary
in peace,
Marshall.
man.
I need to watch Hocus Pocus again. He's so good.
So good. Well, and then this year, Hocus Pocus 2.
Oh, that's right.
Cheers to the sequel that hopefully will not ruin the entire
hope it's
franchise.
Gonna be good.
That's right. There's always, with so many sequels now.
Lone Ranger happening here.
Yeah, no, thank you. Well, folks, you let us know in the comments. Were you able to snag a Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party ticket? Did you get one? Are you worried you're not going to get one? If you have a trip coming up, you might want to plunk down that cash right now. All right, stick around. Plenty more Kingdom Report Live for you next. Remember those carefree days of childhood where the magic still existed? When you didn't feel guilty about eating mountains of cereal with, we'll just say, questionable nutrition? Well, now you can have your cereal and you can eat it too. Because Magic Spoon has re-engineered that same great taste with grown-up ingredients for an absolutely game-changing Cereal 2.0. I adore cereal. I treasure cereal. It's one of my favorite things to eat, but I just can't justify eating mounds of sugar in every bowl. I don't need to worry about that with Magic Spoon, because it's high protein, low carb, and 0 grams of sugar in each serving. I know, it's hard to believe, but it also comes in 6 delicious flavors: frosted, fruity, cocoa, cinnamon, blueberry, and peanut butter. Plus, they've got limited edition flavors released throughout the year, like gingerbread or peaches and cream. So taste that magic of childhood all over again and get yourself some Magic Spoon cereal. Plus, take $5 off your order at checkout. All you got to do is insert the promo code Kingdom Team. That's right, Kingdom Team at checkout will get you $5 off your next order at magicspoon.com. That's magicspoon.com. Promo code Kingdom Team. Remember, well, by golly, it's time for the Disney list. Take a look at some of the best and worst of the Disney theme parks. All the focus today on Disney California Adventure, a favorite and a least favorite attraction at Disney California Adventure. Certainly in past broadcasts, we've talked about Disneyland, and don't get our Tyler started on things like Smuggler's Run. You'll never hear
His
the
favorite
end of it.
attraction.
Favorite attraction. Everybody knows that. But today we are Tyler-less, and therefore probably won't run into a problem like that for California Adventure, I think. Good news. That's good news, right? Katrina Manzoni here with us, Garrett Hassel hanging out as well to share their takes on the matter. A favorite and a least favorite, maybe one that you could just go without, really. Let's start with you, Garrett. What do you think?
The one I could go without, it's going to break some of your hearts, the Incredicoaster. I am not a
Breaking
fan
hearts.
of it. I've been on it one time, and I miss California Screaming. I thought the soundtrack was more nostalgic. Plus, you had Neil Patrick Harris as the narrator. 3, 2, 1, go! Like, I thought it was so charming, kind of like, a boardwalk barker. But the Incredicoaster, it's beautiful, it's put together, but to me, it's very shaky.
You don't
It's
like the
kind of
cookies?
rocky.
You don't like the smell of cookies?
I do. I love cookies. I love num cookies. But the addition of the Incredibles in there, it's cute, but it doesn't really like blow it out of the water. Like, oh my gosh, this is such a transformative experience. Like when they do, I think Star Wars Space Mountain, Hyperspace Mountain, is more immersive than the Incredicoaster is, which is permanent incredible.
Wow. Fighting
I
words.
know.
Oh.
I someone's going to punch
God,
me
you
through
weren't
their
saying
computer
Smuggler's
screen.
Run is more immersive. I would have shot through the wall here.
I don't know. So now, Smuggler's Run, if you want to talk about immersion, no. But my favorite, Mission Breakout is probably my favorite thing there. I went on it during Halloween season, and so I got After Dark, and I got the original.
Cool.
And I was blown away by it. I went on it, I'm like, man, they got rid of such a great attraction, Tower of Terror. And then you go on it, and it's just like, this thing kicks butt. There's multiple different scenes. I think it's fun. I think it's whimsical. You got jokes. You got laughs. It still whips you up and down, and I love it. And then After Dark, you got Baby Groot in there getting yelled at by big scary monsters. I adore it. I think it's so cool. And I used it when the Max Pass was still around. And I was like, boom, I went on that sucker like 3 times because I just kept, renewing that pass. So
You're the problem.
Unfavorable mix.
I'm sorry. It's it's us people that aren't from California anymore. We're ruining the fun for all the Californians. But
Wow.
Mission Breakout for me just stands out and is so iconic now. And when I go on, Tower of Terror out at Hollywood Studios, I'm like, Mission Breakout's way better. It really is. I'm sorry, but it is. It is. I'm sorry. The collector, he knows what he's doing. He's got a great, beautiful collector, and plus, animatronic Rocket is just so cool.
Oh,
It's
very
cute.
cool.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And Garrett, your girlfriend is in chat, and she says that she got sick on Incredicoaster.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got a little shaken up too. Usually I can handle some G-forces, and I can take a hit like that. But yeah, the Incredible, I felt like I was on the Matterhorn, but way worse. Like the Matterhorn I can handle. This, a little rockier. The only part I really liked was the launch, and then after that it was like, oh, this isn't fun at all.
Oh.
Oh.
Well, I'm glad
Yeah.
you're still alive to tell the tale.
Yeah.
I'm glad my
Yeah.
girlfriend's still alive, because if she wasn't, and that's how she went out, she would not be happy with me. She'd be
yeah,
haunting me.
No doubt about that. Yeah. And
Yeah.
Tyler also in chat joining us virtually saying it's not his fault that Smuggler's Run is terrible. See? Even from afar,
Go back to saving and being a hero.
still
Where
seeps
are
in.
you?
I tell you. Oh,
We're
Tyler.
gonna go
Well,
on Smuggler's Run, and you and I are gonna be gunners together.
yeah,
Oh,
gunners
boy.
together. That's right. The best role in the entire Millennium Falcon. And Katrina, let's turn it on over to you. California Adventure, a best and a worst. What do you got for us?
Okay.
All right.
So this is an attraction thing, but I decided to go with rides.
Oh. It's
So
cool.
my least favorite,
Mm-hmm.
Soarin' Around the World.
What?
agree.
I hate it.
Doesn't belong.
If it was like, soaring over California, have at it. I would go
Yeah.
probably every single, every couple times a month, right?
Mhm.
Like it'd be great. You smell the oranges, you smell the sea breeze, you smell the what is it, the pine and all that stuff. But man, I hate the soaring like over the world or whatever it's called, around the world, over the world. It's not my
Soaring around the
favorite.
world.
I hate the transitions. It makes me laugh every single time. It is like everything is fake. It's like all computerized, so nothing looks real, and it does not impress me. So when we have like friends that want to go on it, I'm like, ugh. And so even because and again, it's not even unique because they have it here and they have it in Florida.
Yeah.
So what is unique about it? Like I want something that is over the world, like over California, because it is called California Adventure.
Yeah.
So I want to go on adventure around California.
I'll tell you,
Katrina.
Epcot's makes more sense to be global
Sure, over the
for the sake of
world.
Epcot,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. What were you gonna say, Garrett?
Yeah. So I haven't been on it in quite some time. Is the queue still like a celebration of California aviation, or
Yeah,
is it
hasn't
pictures
changed.
of around the world?
No, hasn't changed.
Yeah, same thing.
Oh, then
Doesn't make any sense.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it does. How about this? Around the world, Epcot, keep it there forever. Soaring over California, keep it California. Where it makes kind of a little bit of sense. I like that agreement.
Like
How
it
do you
just
say?
it makes
Shake on
sense, like, and if I
Yeah.
really I'm craving to do over the world,
Oh,
then I'll go over to Florida and I'll ride it once and I'll be fine for the rest of the year. And I'll probably never again. So when we go to Florida and our friends want to go ride it, usually Tyler and I are like, we're going to go to Living with the Land. I'll see you
Oh,
later.
so much better.
Oh my God. It's
far
such,
superior.
I could go on that like every single time because every single time is always a different experience.
Here
'cause
at
you never
Epcot.
know what
You want to
plant's
learn about
blooming.
ladybugs in Japan.
That's right.
That's right. And so it's just my least favorite.
I get it.
And so now my favorite. So fun. Radiator Springs Racers.
Heyo.
Over at Cars Land. So
Yeah.
fun. That queue gets very lengthy. I totally understand, but man, when you go on it, it's just so much fun because you go in your car, you race around, and then if you do single rider, which we've talked about it multiple times, this is like my favorite thing, is you get a chance to race your friends. So if you guys go in a group of 4 or 5, you have more of a chance to ride and connect with each other because at the end of the ride you take the 2 cars and you race with each other to see who wins. And I think it's fun because then instead of like all riding in the same car to get your picture, you can race your friend and then just stare at them the whole time, and if you lose you just go, I don't know you.
Yeah.
So that's like my favorite ride. It's always fun.
Very nice. I know it's still the hottest ticket in town when it comes
it
to
is.
California Adventure, outpacing even that Spider-Man web slinger attraction that came in with Avengers Campus. So, hey, speaks volumes, I think. Yeah. And soaring around the world, it's bizarre to me because it's like one of those attractions that, with California version, hit all the right notes and just enchanted people to no end.
Oh yeah.
And then you thought, man, they're going to do a world version. This is going to be even better.
Epic.
And somehow, and I think a lot of it has to do with, unfortunately, the digital rendering and the CGI mixed in. And I know that they're trying to make it captivating and everything, but so much of the California version, it was captivating with bare basics. It was
Right.
captivating by just seeing what you got. And yes,
That
they
stupid
staged
golf
some
ball
things.
that gets launched at you.
The Michael
and
Eisner golf ball.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's why I failed. No Michael Eisner.
See?
Like in Palm Springs golfing, and even though like the orange tree thing, they were digitally added, like it still was perfect. The Taj Mahal. Like if I want to look at the Taj Mahal in a digital
So
surface,
fake.
I'll go on YouTube or go on Wikipedia. I don't need to go on that ride and see a fake crane land in fake water.
Get
The
sprayed
Eiffel
dust at
Tower.
by fake elephants.
Oh my gosh. That
Yeah.
transition with the polar bear, I'm like, come on. Like in the first 2 seconds, you're like, this is what it's gonna be for the rest of the
Yeah.
ride, right? Or
Yeah.
the what and it is, yes.
Yeah, it's tough to
I was
watch. I
surprised
know.
like the polar bear didn't come up with Coca-Cola and being like
I was
Refresh
waiting for
Product
that.
placement.
I like when you're in Utah and then the bird comes like, "Rah!" and it's like, oh wow, jump scares, haha. That's what we need for transitions. No, we use real quality stuff like going into the water on soaring over California. Yeah,
Hey, and
and
depending
when those
on
jets came by, like it made you have feels.
very true.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like when those things are whoosh, go by, you're like,
Mhm.
whoa.
Yeah.
That was the coolest. That was like one of my favorite scenes, to be honest. Like it was
One of the
just
greatest
really neat.
elements,
And then
yeah.
you go over San Diego and you see everything over there. It's just like, and then it makes you want to go visit those locations. Like the Taj Mahal, I'm sure in real life is gorgeous,
Mhm.
but
yeah.
that did
you don't
not
like
do it
the
justice.
angle. You don't like the curved Eiffel Tower that everyone knows is curved.
I know.
and
And I'm
not
gonna go to
completely-
Eiffel Tower and be like, I thought it was always curved.
Huh. What's that
the
angle?
only, the one positive. Patrick Warburton is still the narrator, so
Thank
that's
goodness.
the gift.
Bless.
But yeah, the curved Eiffel Tower. C'est belle.
Hey, Garrett.
Yeah.
Nice work, pal.
And of course, these little beauties.
These little beauties. Oh, Patrick
Gotta
Warburton.
be raising prices.
He is a dream. Well, ladies and gentlemen, you let us know best and worst attractions when it comes to Disney California Adventure. We would love to hear from you, as always, in the comments. What can you go without? And maybe what can you never miss when you visit DCA? All right, you stick around. Kingdom Report Live continues next.
Looking for some digital magic to help you through your week? The Kingdom Report is here for you, covering the latest Disneyland and Disney World news, experiences, and events. Be sure to follow us on Instagram and Facebook at Kingdom Report Live so you never miss an update. And drop a subscribe on the Kingdom Report YouTube channel for new videos every week. Don't miss out. Join this growing community of theme park fans as we aim to connect you to more of what makes you happy. For more information, visit KingdomReportLive.com. And now, back to the magic.
The one thing is here, and this week's one thing is all about the one Walt Disney World restaurant you would choose to dine at over all the others. If you only had one shot, M&M's mom spaghetti sort of thing, one shot, right? You're in Disney World, say, for a day. You got an option to dine at one location in all of Walt Disney World Resort. Where is that restaurant going to be? I'm going to start with Katrina. Disney World's a big place. You got your gluten allergies, so that factors into a lot of your decision-making, I know. What Walt Disney World Resort restaurant would you dine at if you could pick one?
Man, this was so hard because there's a lot of dining options. I mean, look how many
Hundreds.
resorts they have, and
Yeah.
how many restaurants they have, and then they have restaurants in the parks, and you have Disney Springs, and that's like a whole other ball game. Oh my gosh, I had to choose one, and so usually it's always so. Then I had to think back, being like, okay, what is like the one that I always just get excited about? Sana.
Sana.
Oh, the bread service.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
It's amazing.
It's
all
so
the different
good.
sauces.
It's like my favorite. And so that's like I had to go with because they do have like gluten-free flatbread that they make in-house.
Oh, what a dream.
And so it's always like my favorite. And I remember there was a time where Tyler and I, we weren't like, we were hungry, but we didn't know what we wanted. And so we just both looked at each other and we're like, let's just go to Sanaa. And so we went to Sanaa and we got our own bread service each because we didn't know that we could just buy extra bread. And so we got our own bread services. And then the lady was like, you want two? And
Do you know what
we're
that
like,
is?
Yes, we do. And then we got it. And then she's like, you don't want any other foods? And we're like, I don't think so. And we had
know
that
what
for
we're
dinner.
about.
And we were just like loading it. And honestly, that like spicy jalapeno that they have is so good. And then they have this like, I don't know. I want to say this fermented garlic or something. And there's like garlic like cloves in there. Oh my gosh, it's so good. And then usually we always like swap out a couple of them, which they're really nice about. And so we'll swap out two of the flavors that we don't really particularly like. Usually like the sweeter ones that are very mild because we like the spicy stuff. So then we'll always ask for like an extra
The mango
jalapeno.
chutney.
Yeah, I think we kick one of those. Yeah, I think we kick out the mango chutney, and then like we kick out something else, and then we always ask for an extra garlic and an extra jalapeno, so we get our own, so we don't
yeah.
fight over how many jalapenos and garlics we've had. And then now we know, we're like, oh, okay, we'll just ask for extra, and then we'll just buy extra bread as it comes in, so we don't have to fight. Because when we finished them both, but it was a lot.
Way to go.
I was just like, I don't know if I can eat anymore. And then it was just insane. And then, so I would say go to Sanaa. It's so good. And then they also have this, like, I wouldn't call it like a secret menu item, but it's a very spicy sauce. And it's so spicy. It's spicy for Tyler. And Tyler say it on the chat. Like, what is it called? I forgot. Do something. So I forgot what it's called. It's like not peri sauce. That's like completely different. And I don't know. I feel like it starts with a P. But anyway, it's super spicy, and it's like they give you a little bit, and man, I barely put like a dab, and my mouth's on fire. So if you really like spicy stuff, ask for like the super spicy sauce that they don't. It's like secret.
You're into the spice? Go with the pivot.
And they warn you.
Yeah.
And they go, "Are you sure?" And we're like, "I think we're okay with it."
Be on fire.
It's so spicy.
So spicy.
They give you a glass of milk with it.
Ugh, I hate milk. I couldn't do it. I'd probably vomit.
Well, that's awkward.
I usually deal with it. I'm just like eating. I'm like, this is so spicy. And then I'm like, my nose is running. And I'm like, this is so good. So yeah, Sanaa, so great. Bread service. That's all you need.
That's all you need.
Honestly, like for dinner, if you love carbos and you love all the different sauces, you can make, like, they give you 9. So I mean,
go to town.
You make your own concoction of bites every single time you go, you know? It's so good. And then, you know, and their beef is really good. Their braised beef that they have, it has like a little cinnamon taste to it. Oh, it's my favorite thing. And they put it back on the menu because I've had a love-hate relationship with Sanaa taking it off the menu, putting it back on, only having it for lunch. Oh. And then they finally put it back on.
Toying with you.
Oh, and then they raise their prices. So I'm like, whoo.
Well, that's, tale as old as time. They, definitely a highlighted restaurant for so many that visit Disney World. Sanaa over at Disney's Animal Kingdom Lodge. And then we turned it on over to all of you asking, what are some of your picks? If you could only do one restaurant at Walt Disney World Resort, what would that be? Some of your comments. Steven says, be our guest at Magic Kingdom. So what really stood out here were the cast members. Service was impeccable. The general manager came by our table and said hi while he was visiting other tables. He came back after his tour of the restaurant floor and chatted with us for a while. I always try to ask wacky off-the-wall questions, so I asked him about alligators on property. He laughed, pulled out his phone, and showed me the gator on the golf course he saw on property that very morning. A big one, too. Being in food hospitality in Napa, I really appreciate little things like this. He also says, my wife and I really enjoyed the atmosphere. The Beast danced with a little girl dressed as Belle. She curtsies after the restaurant, and the restaurant cheers, and claps. The food was amazing. We try to order seafood when we go out to eat and can usually judge the kitchen by how it's cooked. The scallops were perfect. Dessert was so yummy. The little cookies and the gray stuff. Frontierland Frank says, a super underrated restaurant that we love is Skipper Canteen at Magic Kingdom. The menu is so good. They have some unique but extremely delicious meals. Also, the theming is on point. My wife and I's favorite at Magic Kingdom. Douglas says, Steakhouse 71, because for a person like me who grew up going to Disneyland and the Disneyland Hotel, it used to be mine. Of course, referring to Steakhouse 55. Rest in peace. And Amelia says, the Crystal Palace in Main Street, USA, where spaghetti and marinara sauce is simply delicious. And we move along to Garrett Hassel, Mr. Disney World Extraordinaire. If you had one shot, because we know you're a foodie, even though you don't tend to eat there, but if you were to eat there, what would that one restaurant be?
I eat more at the resorts than I do at the parks, truth be told, and I would love to say Victoria and Albert because, you know, it's the most expensive. It's the most grandeur, but I've yet to eat there. So until I do, I cannot put that on there. But I honestly love California Grill. You know, it's got California in the name, so I'm naturally biased towards it, you know, West Coast, Best Coast. But the food there, the just environment, I love that it's on top of, you know, the Contemporary Resort and you can see the fireworks if you time your dinner correctly and you can walk out onto the outside area. I really enjoy California Grill. I've made so many memories there with Ariel and her family, and you know the price is a little steeper than what I'm typically used to spending on dinner, but the quality of ingredients, the service, and just the detail put into the food is amazing. Like their flatbreads, it's like an appetizer and it can fill you up without any joke. And I've had different meals there, and every time I'm just blown away. And they change up the menu too. That's the thing that really stands out to me. It's not, like, okay, we got this every time. No, like they put stuff in that's seasonal, and I always find it very enjoyable. They one time had a salad with like this special kind of donut on there that Ariel's dad got, and we went back there 3 months later, and they're like, "Oh yeah, we changed our menu." And like, "Can you make anything like that?" It's like,
salad.
Sorry. And
tasty.
so we got this goat cheese ravioli, and that like we're like, "Dang, that's
Wow.
bomb." So yeah, California Grill, very special place. Highly recommend it for dinner.
Sushi's tasty.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's such a great place, and they have so many different foods for everyone's different kind of palate and what they're looking for. So California Grill, it's a nice place. Also, it's very romantic if you need a date night. Even their bar area, it's just very nice, and I really enjoy it every time.
Delish. Thank you for sharing your thoughts. Tyler in chat chimed in saying peli peli sauce.
Yeah, told you it was a
Peli
P.
peli.
Peli peli.
And it
yes.
sounds like fire.
It
sauce.
does. It's very scary.
Fire. Yeah. Flamin' hot. That's right.
Flamin'
And
hot.
we turn it back on over to all of you. Your one pick for Walt Disney World Resort restaurants. Mitchell saying Le Cellier in the Steakhouse of Epcot. Restaurants and World Showcase are the best in the entire resort, and I am automatically in just by hearing the words steak and lobster. D says, had a wonderful meal at Homecoming earlier this year, but the shopping at Disney Springs left much to be desired. Ooh, that's a topic for another time. Aaron says, Ohana at the Polynesian Resort for the all-you-can-eat beef, chicken, shrimp, wings, bread pudding, and view of the fireworks at Magic Kingdom. Rocket Raccoon says, Space 220, it's on my bucket list. And Roman says, Tusker House is underrated AF. AF. Space 220 being at Epcot, of course, Tusker House being over at Disney's Animal Kingdom. Now we want to hear from all of you. Favorite restaurant? You only got one choice in all of Walt Disney World Resort. What will it be? Throw it on into that comment section. It means an awful lot. All right, y'all. Before we get out of here, we want to remind you that you get rewarded for watching and listening to our broadcast. All you got to do, head on over to the Kingdom Report YouTube channel and leave the phrase that pays underneath our video. As soon as the live video is over, you are able to leave comments. Leave the comment this week. Smuggler's Run. Again, Tyler's favorite attraction, Smuggler's Run. If you leave Smuggler's Run in the comment section down below, you will be entered to win your very own Kingdom Report mug. All you got to do is leave it between now and Monday morning at 8 a.m. Pacific time. If you are the winner, we will reach out to you and say, huzzah! We'll say it. Huzzah!
Huzzah!
Like that. And then you'll be the winner. And then you'll be the winner, just like that, between now and Monday morning at 8 a.m. Pacific time. Ladies and gentlemen, it has been a terrific pleasure being with you once again. I got to tell you, always a treat. Always a treat hanging out, and hopefully you enjoyed yourself as well. Again, if you know anybody that is a Disney Parks fan, pass along the broadcast. And for Garrett Hassel, Tyler Crouch, Katrina Manzoni, Sabina Graves, producer Tony, everybody that makes this possible, we want to say thanks from the bottom of our hearts for making this a reality each and every week. We'll see you next time for another edition of Kingdom Report Live, 3 p.m. Eastern, 12 p.m. Pacific. And remember, the legacy of Walt Disney lives on because of people like you and me. See you next time.